People, welcome to Bouquet Jazz Dance. I'm in my dance lab and I'm doing a project called Rebirth for the Kool. And what happens, Rebirth for the Kool, I want to share with people, these are my notes I'm working on at the moment. That's a map, you see this. What it is, Rebirth for the Kool is a project I created from 1972, but really it was called Birth for the Kool before, from 1972, and it changed to Rebirth for the Kool after an article written in a magazine, by the Face magazine, which let us down, talk about the new jazz age in Britain, which I was a part of. Okay, 86, basically our new jazz age in Britain, booming in sense of my time, was 75 to 86. After that, it just went downhill. We lost the leading club, etc., etc., and all days in Manchester City were lost. My work at that time was our Manchester scene was the leading avant-garde scene in the whole of the country and was not acknowledged by no magazine, no article. That's why I was disappointed with the Face magazine, because it did a magazine called Fashion Special, and it created a great opportunity for them to incorporate fashion across the whole of England. Like, for example, Nottingham was renowned. The north of England had a renowned fashion sense and had historically. The Midlands did, and also London, and it provided opportunity for to do so, but they didn't do right by it, us as individual. They basically promoted the key individuals that weren't really the voice of the fashion, particularly in respect to the scene, the underground scene. So that's why I was disappointed and miseducated people around the world. What I did, I took it on myself from that point of view to start looking at, talking to people about what lessons can you learn from jazz musicians and learn from the key industry itself. You know, what makes a dance leader, and I've got here what makes a UK jazz dance leader, fashion. And fashion was a statement. It was not something that we just engaged in. I talked about fashion was part of the way we kept our health. So how do you keep yourself and others well? The fashion that we wore kept us well, because what it was therapy. It was a way of self-expressing ourselves and our creativity, sharing our voice. It was a statement of who we were, showing that we're non-conformist. It was so many different things, and there was a great opportunity to give people a 3D story on our Birth for the Kool, our new jazz age of Britain, and it was lost. And it was lost particularly within a film called Absolute Beginners that really miseducated people about the three top groups that we had were basically colonialized in the biggest budget movie ever. The most commercialized movie in which dancers have ever been in was this Absolute Beginners, and it was the biggest budget movie ever in the whole of Britain, ever in its history. So them being in it was really fantastic to raise the prestige, the status of this art form that had been around from 1975. But what happened was the marketing for the film was using black and white minstrel show marketing, and what happened was that led to the three best groups actually being demeaned in the film and losing their credibility. On the ground, in in film, it was very important at that time they got shown in a positive light. IDJ had done like an underground film, but they hadn't been involved in the commercial world. So what took off was like a commercial element of jazz, which wasn't about with the clothes, etc. Vintage clothes came in about 4 years later, from 1986, Absolute Beginners, the film, and Rebirth for the Kool, the article in 96 in the magazine of the Face. From that point of view was 1986. From there on, the commercial people came involved in, not people really hardcore individuals involved in using clothes as a statement, collecting music as a statement, etc., and using it to improve and enhance their lifestyle and the culture in an everyday life that was lost as an individual. So I just wanted to give people an insight to, this is my wall, and you're in the lab, and this is when I was talking to you. This is what I want to talk about a little bit. There's a magazine down there, and my sort of collection of things says Dress for Success, because what happened, the clothes was us dressing for success. It was saying who we were. You'll find a lot of the independent, creative individuals that were involved in dance were all dressed, the hairdressers, scientists, architects, were all coming to the club scene. So it attracted the creatives to come together, who worked together in a serious way, doing projects. A lot of people doing projects. And it was a shame their fashion, they weren't the voice of the magazine. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a shame. And this is my wall. This is how serious I was in doing Rebirth for the Kool. As a person with dyslexia, I have something called blindsidedness. So I put up information. This is like my mood board, like in fashion, when you're working on an idea. because the whole idea was it was going to talk